So I'm not gonna go into detail about the Friday the 13th remake or Freddy vs. Jason in this video. I'm just gonna stick to the main series, parts 1 through 10. I just don't count those other two as official parts of the series. That's just me. Anyway, here's my rankings for the top 10 Friday the 13th films. So part 9, or Jason Goes to Hell as it's called. It's not a bad horror movie, it's just not a very good Friday the 13th movie. I mean, it's gory and disturbing, but I don't know, the whole body swapping thing was just kind of weird, and just how it was structured was just, I don't know, different. I was kind of blown away by the ending though, when shows Freddy's glove coming out of the grave and grabbing Jason's mask. That was cool. And the Evil Dead 2 stuff that's in there. But yeah, other than that, it's just the black sheep of the series. So when I first saw Part 8 as a kid, I liked the movie. Then I rewatched it as an adult one day, and I just found it kind of dull, actually. A lot of the kills are just heavily censored, and there's a couple decent ones in there, like when he punches the guy's head off and it goes flying off the roof, whatever. It's kind of cool when he's in Times Square and he knocks over those thugs' radio. And they look at him, and they're all pissed off about it, and he just lifts up his mask, and they're just like, oh, no problem, man, and just back off. That was pretty good. So, Jason X, or Jason Goes to Space. And it's kind of a stupid idea, but it's at least entertaining. You got some creative kills in there. They don't shy away from the gore very much. I thought Uber Jason was kind of cool. So, that gets my number 8 spot. So, part 6 would be higher up on the list, but this is where they really started to tone down the kills and censored them quite a bit. The non-horror stuff was pretty entertaining. There's like a car chase and the part where the RV flips over. There's stuff like that that makes it enjoyable, and Tommy Jarvis coming back was cool. There's one good kill where he folds the guy in half. That's pretty memorable. And the ending's pretty solid. So part 2 loses some points. For one thing, there's that overly long intro where it goes on for like 20 minutes or so. Where it's just Alice walking around her house doing mundane things and occasionally being creeped out by something. And as for the characters, probably my least favorite group of characters. Amy Steele did a good job as the final girl, I guess, but, and the kills were solid. Except for that one where he slices the guy's throat with the wrong end of the machete. But I do really like Jason's look in this movie with the sack head. I think it's a really creepy look. And the ending's probably one of the best in the series, where they're in the shack and Amy Steele puts on his mom's sweater and tries to trick him, What happened to Paul, by the way? He just kind of disappeared from the movie. Anyway.
Hey! Ted! Ted! Hey, Ted, where the hell's Corkscrew?
So, part 4 is in most people's top 3. But myself, I find it a bit overrated. That's just me, though. The kills are really gory and brutal. There's a good cast of characters, and it's well acted for the most part. I think part of the reason I don't like it as much is I never saw it as a kid, so there's no real nostalgia for me. I do like the ending, though, where Tommy Jarvis hacks up Jason. They tried to set him up as the next killer in the franchise, but that never happened. They kind of teased it a bit, but that was it. So, part 7, or The New Blood, was Kane Hodder's first appearance as Jason. You could argue he's probably the best Jason. I mean, all those other guys did a good job too, but he's probably most well known for that role, I believe it was originally meant to be Carrie versus Jason, but they couldn't get the rights or whatever, so they just had to make it a generic Carrie versus Jason. One of the bad things about this movie is the kills were censored to a heavy degree. But otherwise, it makes up for with the ending with generic Carrie fighting Jason. using her telekinetic powers to basically kick his ass. It's pretty good. It's one of the few times we see Jason kind of outmatched. Aside from the heavy censorship, I think it's one of the best in the series. It has some really good makeup. Like, there's one part at the end where Jason's mask gets cracked in half. You get to see his rotted face, and the telekinetic effects are pretty good too. And the gore and makeup effects are all pretty good. So, part 3 probably has the most amount of 80s cheese to it. It's helped a lot by that really funky theme song. You probably know what I'm talking about. Yeah, just like everything about part 3. Got some memorable characters like the stoner couple, the bikers, and then you got the lovable prankster Shelly, who's probably one of the most iconic characters in the series. The kills are pretty good. There's one memorable one where a guy gets chopped in half from his crotch to his stomach. It's pretty brutal. There's also the one woman where she gets shot through the eye with a harpoon. Oh, that's a pretty gruesome effect there. And of course, this is the movie where Jason gets his hockey mask. And, yeah, and the ending is really, really good in my opinion. Where she's out on the boat. It's kind of a rip-off of part 1, but she's on the boat and then he's up in the house in the second floor window, like looking down at her, and then he comes rushing out, and then, of course it's a dream at the end, but whatever. It's one of the best endings in the series. Yeah, I might get some flack for this, but whatever. This is just my personal opinion. But I really like number 5. For one thing, it's got a ton of kills in it. I'm not sure if it's the most kills, but it's up there. I think there's like 21 maybe. I guess the director was told he needed a kill every 7 to 8 minutes. And most of the kills, they're pretty good. Some of them are toned down a bit, but I think they show you just enough to where it's effective. And you also got some great characters in there. You got like Tommy Jarvis as a teenager. And he plays a really good kind of psycho, conflicted character. You got Reggie the Reckless. Of course, there's a Demon.
Yeah, bro, it's me, open up!
That you reckless?
Open up the door!
Oh my God, well get your ass in here, boy! God, it's good to see you, dude. Damn, you look good.
I know.
Oh, God, look at this. God. Hey, you having a dinner? Yeah, have an enchilada.
Also, there's plenty of nudity in this film, and come on, that's one of the hallmarks of the series. Gotta have some naked women in there somewhere. And, this movie gets a lot of hate, but because Jason's not the killer, and he's still technically in there. In Tommy's hallucinations, anyway. But yeah, it's a different guy. It's a copycat killer, but the movie's still the same. Structured the same. Just a guy in a hockey mask going around killing people. I mean, it didn't bother me that much. I don't know. A lot of people are bothered by that, though. It's not as bad as like Halloween 3, where it's like a totally different beast. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's number 2 then.
You see, Jason was my son, and today is his birthday.
Where's Mr. Kristen?
Oh, I couldn't let them open this place again. Could I? Not after what happened. Oh, my sweet, innocent Jason.
Well, it may be the standard choice, but I would say number 1's my overall favorite. I think it has the most well-told story. It's really more of a murder mystery revenge story than a all-out slaughter fest. I believe you get 10 deaths total, including Miss Voorhees. That's not really the point, some of the deaths are off-screen. You kind of just see the aftermath of their bodies being littered about. The cast isn't the most memorable, but they get the job done. They're not bad or anything. Oh, and of course there's that ending. At first they reveal who the killer is. And then there's like the jump scare at the end with Jason jumping out of the water. And I remember as a kid watching that really creeped me out big time. But, yeah, well, that's number 1 though, and I appreciate your watching.
Jason?
In the lake, the one who attacked me? The one who pulled me underneath the water?
Ma'am, we didn't find any boy.
Then he's still there.